Well, Alex talked about a time where Capcom thrived. I'm going to talk about a time where they were almost bankrupt, and there was one game that saved them from bankruptcy. I'm not going to ask you guys to guess the game, but can you guess the genre?
Wait, can I have a time period?
Late 80s.
Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
It was Strip Mahjong, a game
I
called
knew it.
Mahjong Gakoen.
Strip and I no, I said Street I said Strip Mahjong too.
Oh, well then, if that's what you said, then you're right. If you said Street Fighter, you're wrong.
Oh.
So this information was divulged somewhat recently. Capcom almost went broke in the late 80s. Even though Ghouls and Ghosts was the highest grossing arcade game, this information was divulged by a guy. His name is, I'll have it up in a second.
All this build up, it's going to be like John.
Basically, John, the Japanese John, Akira Yasuda, who is an artist for Capcom. Well, he divulged it on Twitter, stating, according to Akimon, Capcom was on the verge of bankruptcy when the development of Mahjong Gakoen started. It sold more units than Daimakaimura, which is Ghouls and Ghosts, which released the same year in 1988. So I have a table up that shows sales, and I'll send, if I edit this, I'll just put the image in. At that time, by comparison, it looks like, gosh, you can tell I'm really prepared for this lesson. Namco was grossing the highest between 1987, 88, and 89 with approximately, this is in Japanese, so I have to translate this, about like 350,000 units per year, I guess, of their softwares, maybe millions. I don't know the unit. Capcom was next, and they're, or in this table. So this is not like an order of descending or ascending, but Capcom is clearly the highest. Versus Capcom is next to them. So in 1987, Namco was selling 288 whatever units, and Capcom was selling 67. Then the next year was 83. And the last year on this table, 89, it boosted up to 190. So this game released on the PC Engine, and it didn't release as a Capcom game per se, not labeled that way because it's like obviously a mature game in like a sexual sense, so they didn't want to be associated with it. But the Capcom programmer Takashi Aoki, who worked on the title, oh no, I'm getting the guys confused. Okamoto, he secretly started developing the strip version while they were on the verge of bankruptcy. This is all according to a website called timeextension.com. When it was finished, Capcom's president Kenzo Tsujimoto refused to release it under the company's banner, with the explicit title eventually being distributed under another publisher named Yuga instead. The game sold tremendously well for the company, so well it outsold Ghouls and Ghosts, and it was credited with saving the company from financial crisis. Now, I looked up some gameplay for this. I looked up some
Do a
gameplay.
little
Oh
research.
yeah. Oh
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I will not be including it, but there is like a kids mode. So there's only 2 videos that I found on the front page of YouTube for this. My recommendations are going to be all out of whack now. But when you start, there's like a lady with like in her dress looking this way, and she's like, "Nani oshite asobi mashoka." What version of this game would you like to play? The first one is Gakuen Modo, which is student mode or kids mode. The next one is Sengoku mode. I guess that's like next level up, like middle school. And the next one is Ryoru Setten, like real setting, and that's like the strip one. And in that one,
yeah.
when you win Mahjong, you get to see the full frontal. And it looks like this game is fun too. Like it's not just like win Mahjong and ladies strip. I noticed that there's like a part like where you're like punching a guy in between. It just has that kind of like weird Japanese quirkiness to it. Personally, Mahjong is a game I like. Like you have to like clear all the dominoes from the stage, and like by matching them. It's a matching game. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's a fun incentive to play Mahjong, and you can see why it's kind of popular out there in the East. But this is at a time where those kind of games were prevalent. I know the Dreamcast has a lot of like this style of games. So yeah, that's the game that is the reason you have Monster Hunter today. Is Mahjong Gakoen.
The original Monster Hunter.
Yes. Hunting, stripping females.
When all else fails, go to porn.
That's why we bust out Dude 39.
They need to do a version of this with the Rathalos.
Yeah.
That's the next gen version.
Where you're stripping the Rathalos.
I think I don't have the exact years for it, but I noticed I was listening to an interview with the guy. It's all in Japanese, so I can't translate this. But they brought up Game Center CX numerous times. I was wondering if they did an episode on it, and maybe that's why it was popular. But again, it was like 89, so I don't know what the years were for Game Center CX.
Did they continue this series beyond
yeah,
this?
it's huge.
It's. I mean, it could be. There's a lot of Mahjong games like if you go on Steam, you'll find a million of these kinds of things.
Not that I can tell.
Released by Yuga. Yuga.
Ayuga.
Ayuga.
Well, I'm looking
like
in the library here.
Like when you would see a naked lady, Ayuga.
Yeah, your eyes are like popping out of your head.
They're not even listed as companies founded by ex-Capcom employees. They don't want you to uncover this history. They probably did, and then they probably just didn't tell you the names of the developers.
Damn, we're about to be shut down, huh?
It's like the Mario porn. Like Nintendo bought 2 Mario pornos based on the original Mario movie. They own that because they thought it was easier just like instead of getting them to stop distribution, they thought it was easier just to buy it and hide it.
They thought it was easier just to buy it and jerk off to it furiously.
So Nintendo owns Mario porn
for research purposes only.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, that's Capcom.
Why do you think this game in particular saved them from financial ruin? Why not Ghouls and Ghosts? They both strip. They strip when you play Mahjong. He strips when you get hit.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be the cartoon aesthetic. People want like that real simulation, you know. The idea of like earned like strip. Like, yes, I beat this lady in Mahjong. Take off those panties.
Do you think they should have combined it where you beat Arthur in Mahjong and then he takes off his armor and he's in his underpants?
I think not. I don't think that would sell.
Yeah, nobody wants to see Arthur
In his underpants.
Yeah. Maybe if they had realistic Arthur. Maybe if they had Artha.
Martha.
Yeah.
They had Dante from Devil May Cry and his brother.
Oh, no.
At the
I think if
beach.
they changed it to like ghouls and tits, you know, or ghouls and ass.
Ghosts and tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, tits and goblins. Ah, you know.
Gobbling some tits.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.